Just last week, Respawn released a server update changing the damage values of many weapons in the game. Let's take a look at what's been altered and detail the new damage values. As a brief overview, here's what changed. The following weapons received buffs: the Flatline, R97, Spitfire, LStar, Double Take, EPG, and Thunderbolt. The Volt, on the other hand, received the Nerf. We'll start off with the Volt. Pre-patch, it dealt a maximum of 32 damage, dropping off to 17 at minimum. This put it between 4 and 6 shots to kill, dependent upon range. Headshots used to drop the Volt to a 3-shot kill at the pretty acceptable ranges, and getting 2 headshots with a mouse, even at long ranges, was not an impossible endeavor. While this gun's viability was questionable at best on console, with very few players feeling it's too strong, it was pretty widely regarded as the most blatantly overpowered weapon on PC, next to the Devotion and the Hemlock. Thus, the Volt was banned from competitive play, and was the ire of PC players everywhere. Granted, in my estimation, it was to a much lower extent than guns like the Devotion, but hey, it was certainly up there. Regardless, let's stay focused. The Volt's damage profile is lower now. It currently deals 23 damage per shot, dropping down to 14 at long range. This means that it'll take you between 5 and 8 shots to kill your target now. When amped, you're dealing between 25 and 20 damage to kill, meaning that you're dropping targets in 4 or 5 shots from all ranges. This is down from the old 35 damage at close and medium range, dropping to 30 at long range. In summary, expect 1 or 2 more bullets to kill than you're used to, whether or not this gun is amped. In a lot of players' minds, the Volt feels pretty worthless now. Console players seem to be pretty upset, and rightfully so. This is a weapon many already felt was underpowered, and it pains them to see it nerfed. On the PC side, many players are happy to see the gun nerfed, however. The general opinion is that it's gone just too far, and that the Volt might be in the dumpster right now. I'm trying to give the Volt a chance these next couple of weeks. Just because it's not the monster that it used to be, doesn't suddenly stop it from being one of the most flexible guns in the game. If nothing else, it'll be great for headshot practice. I think I'll run this gun with an AWOL on an anti-Titan loadout with Charge Hack Charge Rifle, so I can abuse the amped mechanic from range very comfortably. I don't like aiming down sights personally as a player, so having a gun that's very accurate and great at hip fire while being amped to a 4 or 5 shot kill sounds great to me. I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, these changes and this loadout are probably still a solid enough way to keep the gun competitive at this point, but I look forward to seeing some low-tier heroes out there rocking faces with the Volt. If you can't already tell, I'm honestly just not sure where to put this gun. I want to say it's bad, but I haven't had that experience with it personally yet. It's definitely worse, but I can't say that it's bad, so I need a little bit more time to figure it out. On controllers, I think that you've got way better options in both the assault rifle and the SMG categories, so that makes the Volt prime material for either the C or F tier. On a keyboard and mouse, I think the gun is definitely at least C tier. It's not totally crap and worthless. It does still have merits, it does still have value. The amp performance is fantastic, the hipfire is still amazing. It's still just usable, but I need more time to really be sure. Let's move on to the Flatline. Previously, it dealt between 35 and 15 damage dependent upon range. Currently, it's dealing between 35 and 21 damage, a pretty significant buff to its reliability at medium and long ranges. When amped, the Flatline deals 50 damage near and 27 damage far. This is lower than what it used to be? I'm not really sure what's going on here, whether or not that's actually true. Maybe it's just a fault of the weapon stat sheet, maybe my testing method is imperfect and I didn't go far enough away. I'm not totally sure, to be honest, but it doesn't really matter though. Either way, it's still a 4-shot kill or better at all ranges, no matter what that damage value is, which is great. The R97's buffs are ones that perplex me greatly. I can't quite say that I understand why this gun was buffed as much as it was. The R97 was already a fantastic SMG, and absolutely no need of altering in my opinion, at least in the PC player space. Maybe it did need some changes for the console space, and I recognize that's probably why it got buffed the way it did, but I still think it might have been too much, and here's why. I think the other 3 SMGs were already borderline overpowered, and it might be smart to bring those down instead of bringing the R97 up. However, again, my PC heritage is showing that probably wasn't true on consoles, but from the game that I'm experiencing and the way I'm playing it, that seems to be the case. However, despite all this, Respawn decided to bring the Volt way down and bring the R97 way up. Previously, it used to do between 20 and 10 damage, which was a 5 to 10 shot kill, needing 2 headshots to drop to 4 shots at close range. Now, it's dealing between 23 and 16 damage, which is a 5 to 7 shot kill, needing only 1 headshot at close range to drop it to a 4 shot kill. If you hit that headshot, you're looking at a 0.167 second time to kill, which is the fastest of any SMG. The alternator comes close with a 0.2 in some cases, but this is just really, really hard to beat. This extends out to a pretty decent range as well, and coupled with the spray and pray nature of the R97, headshots are going to feel somewhat random in comparison to other SMGs, but even though it's got a little bit more spray, it's still pretty accurate. When amped, it used to deal between 25 and 20 damage, and now it's up to between 33 and 24. That is the same number of bullets to kill, however the R97 is hitting that 4 shot at way longer ranges now when it's amped. Its consistency has gone through the roof. If the R97's hipfire weren't as good as it already is, then I would be, for the most part, in favor of these changes. However, the R97 has the potential to be just a little too good in its niche right now, while also being a little too good outside of its niche. Again, this is probably fine when you consider that on consoles, players didn't use the R97. They need some kind of reason to make this gun viable against the other SMGs, or more importantly, the assault rifles. But on the PC player space, this gun is killing in only 7 shots at long range now too. If I was a developer, I'd consider buffing either the short range or long range damage, but not both. The R97 is in a fantastic place right now on PC, and I'm honestly a bit nervous about it at this point in time. As for console balance, well, I don't play on console, so I know the R97 was almost never used there, so I'm interested to see how many people pick it up there and have success with it. I bet that it'll be competitive with alternator and car for you guys, so let me know in the comments down below how it's going for you once you get the hang of it. Next, we've got the Spitfire. Originally, your damage was between 25 and 18. Now you're up to between 35 and 21. 1 less bullet to kill, which is exactly what this gun needed. 3 shots at close range with a time to kill of 0.22 seconds, meaning that technically it's identical to the R97 with no headshots. I'm very happy that this change happened, and the Spitfire is honestly not a completely awful gun anymore. It's still kind of bad, but it's got some damage now, so that's cool. I'm pretty confident in placing it in the C tier, and I'll probably actually take it for a spin every now and then. Lots of aspects of this gun still leave a lot to be desired though, but I'd be lying if I didn't say that I was very pleased with the direction that this gun has been going. So thanks, Respawn. Respawn, all you gotta do now is buff the damage versus Titans, which for some reason was not touched. Spitfire is the Titan killer gun of old, and it should return to its rightful throne of dealing 1 billion damage per bullet to Titans. This needs to happen. Next we'll get to the LStar, another set of really great changes on this one. Previously it dealt between 20 and 15 damage, and now it's up to 25 to 18. You're looking at a 4 to 6 shot kill, and headshots generally don't help you too much. When amped, you're looking at between 35 and 25 damage, meaning that you've got some competitive times to kill now. On PC, this gun was already weak but usable, but now it's definitely become way more consistent and fun to shoot people with. On console, I can only imagine that this gun probably felt really, really bad for you guys, so I hope that this change is enough to get you playing with the LStar some more. It's great fun once you get it down. Give it a try. The double take did not see any particularly relevant buffs. You're more consistently going to be killing injured targets with body shots now, which is great, but that 1-shot kill is still only possible with both shots hitting the head or an amped weapons boost of both shots hitting the body. Body shots now deal 45 damage times 2 bullets per trigger pull, equaling 90 damage, or dropping down to 30 damage per bullet at long range. Strangely, when amped, the double take only deals 35 damage per bullet at long range, meaning that 2 bullets should deal a total of 70 damage. yet the gun kills in one shot anywhere on the body when it's amped from any range as long as both bullets connect. I cannot explain this discrepancy, so if there's any developers lurking in the comments section, I'd love clarification on what's really going on here. Am I doing something wrong in my testing, or have you guys made the double take special in that if both bullets hit, then it just does 100 damage when you're amping it, even though it's supposed to total 70. I don't understand why this is happening. EPG is honestly just pretty unnecessarily difficult to test. The damage increase doesn't really mean anything here, since it still kills instantly in one shot from all ranges. The maximum splash damage is 75, which is unchanged from pre-patch, and the amped max splash damage is 90, also unchanged. Damage to enemy titans also remains completely unchanged. I know that there's some rumors out there that the damage versus titans is better, but honestly, it's not. It's the exact same as it used to be. So some people are saying that they feel the EPG is more consistent with splash damage on people, so maybe that's the case. I can't quite say that I share these sentiments. I don't know that I can actually quantify what happened with the EPG in any reasonable way, so supposedly it's better. Try it, maybe it'll feel better. Maybe it's placebo. I couldn't tell you, to be honest. Finally, we have the Thunderbolt. Versus pilots, it used to deal 50 damage on a direct hit and a maximum of 40 on splash damage if it didn't get a direct hit, as well as an unknown amount of damage to pilots per shock. It now deals 70 on a direct hit, the same on a splash as it used to, and 8 damage per shock. When the gun is amped, you're looking at 90 damage to pilots on a direct hit, 60 damage for a splash, and still 8 for a shock. Versus Titans, you used to deal 850 on a direct hit, 250 on a splash, and I think 300 on a shock, but I'm not sure on that. Now you're dealing 1000 on a direct hit with other values being identical. When you amped this gun, you used to deal 1,350 damage per direct hit to Titans, 650 on a splash, and 300 per shock. In my testing, I was only dealing 350 per splash, so I'm not sure if that's an error or where that error is lying. Maybe it was always dealing that number. I'm not really positive, but otherwise your amped damage values are the same as pre-patch. In terms of my opinions on its performance, it's hard for me to evaluate the Thunderbolt without knowing a few of these pre-patch damage values. So, unfortunately, because I don't have them, the one I'm really looking for is that shock damage to Titans before. Did it always deal 300 damage per shock to Titans, or did it used to deal less and that's been buffed? I'm really not so sure, but at the same time, we should be going off of the way the guns feel, not the way the damage numbers say that they are. So, I don't know. I didn't like the Thunderbolt before. It felt weak to me before. It still feels weak to me now. It does feel marginally better, and I feel that this is a very much so needed buff. I'm happy that it got the change that it did, and it's slightly better at building Titan meter now and discouraging Titan death balls. It's got a lot of versatility and some oddball uses as well, which I'm going to cover in a Thunderbolt guide at some point in the future, and for now, I think that the state of balance it's in is mostly fine. I'd like to see a further damage increase, perhaps extra shock damage on the Thunderbolt maybe, I'm not sure. Another little bump in the right direction could be really cool, but maybe I'm underrating this gun and it's just fine where it's at. I honestly just don't have the experience with this gun yet. Since it seemed so weak before, it just was not on my radar at all. Anyways everyone, that's pretty much the whole of it. Before I go, I guess it's important to mention that there was also a Pilot Sentry nerf. I'll be honest, I didn't test this one myself because I was lazy, but if random people on the internet are to be believed, then the changes are as follows. The turret no longer tracks you through walls and phase shift, and it also pans left and right a little bit more slowly now. It's also definitely got a lot less health now. That much I can confirm, so that's fantastic for actually dealing with these turrets. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I hope that this has been informative for you. Let me know down below if you've got any questions, and I'll see you in the next one, pilots. Take care.